Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and blessings, family. Praise Allah. Honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This name of the show today is called Pointless. When are the people going to learn, family? But before I do that, I'm going to start off with the Morse Maker prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His Holy Prophet, Drew Ali, Ameen, Islam. First all rise, giving praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to everything that is Moorish. Honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the forerunner of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which is Marcus Garvey Bey. Honors to all chief heads of all temples. Honors to all those within the sound of my voice who have a desire to hear the truth about themselves and are wanting to make a change from the state of mind. Islam. I'm first going to start off by saying this, that the thoughtless gives honors to this European society, and the thoughtless repeat what they hear because water retains all knowledge and information. But if people during those times decided to change for the better, and they don't know how to, then that means that the group of people or ethnicities failed to understand critical thinking. Critical thinking leads to common sense. So common sense is really not common to the common people. But I want my brothers and sisters out there to understand that if common sense tells people that you can look on a map and you see all these continents, you see all these nations, how can one group of people versus the other identify themselves with a color, but colors, when you read in a dictionary, are adjectives. Adjectives describe a noun. It's not a noun, it's just a description. It's not the description of, oh, this person is black or that person is white. That's folly. Why do people look at what other people see, but they see an illusion, they see lies and deceit? But at the end of the day, when you go check their job application, you check black, white, non-Hispanic, Hispanic, Latino, Chicano, Asian, right? How do you identify with yourself with a group of people or a nation or law that seems to be obsolete when we start bringing up these color schemes after one start naming nationality? Oh, the Chinese people, the Mexicans, the Peruvians, the black, the brown, the white. They start with the nationality and then they start going into ethnicity, which is straight dumb to me. I never understood when people start naming nationalities, they start going later on, they start going into colors. So how does a black person, right, be a citizen of America when they're under the 14th Amendment? That means that partial of the Constitution protects them. And this is the reason why I have the short show called Pointless. Because it's pointless to show that you represent ethnicity, but you don't represent a nationality. So that means you're going through the same motions that your great great grandmothers went through in the 1920s and all this other stuff, and they start calling you Negro, but all of a sudden now you say, oh yes, I'm a Negro. I'm a black. Well, black and Negro means the same thing in translation from Spanish to English, like I said on my last shows. But how can you identify being black when there is no black nation? How is these so-called Caucasians who are from Europe going to identify as white and their intentions are never to be white? Their thoughts are blemished. That's what white means for you, blemish. Their thoughts are blemished. Because if you look at how the characteristics of what the word white means in a definition does not fit the description of Europeans. It fits the description of the people from China, a description of people from Asia, people from Africa, people who are unconscious Moorish Americans who desire to know the truth and the divine truth, and they want to make their condition better. That's what will make a person pure in heart, because they was taught to them by mama and papa to be able to include a state of mind of hospitality. Hospitality started with the Asiatics of North America. It started with the people of Africa, those nations. You draw what I'm saying? So you cannot be African American because you can't be born in two continents. And these conversations that once keep having, corporate America. I never knew America to be a corporation. I never knew America to be a corporation, but I know America is a nation because it has the stars and stripes, red, white, and blue. That was created by Betsy Ross for George Washington because there was no flag to represent the United States of America, which was invented by the Muslims, the Moorish American Muslims, not by that pale-skinned version of European Betsy Ross, the same way they made Jesus look like he was pale-skinned, so-called from Europe, a seed of Edom, or the seed of Esau. These are things that are what the people have to understand is pointless. It is pointless to look at someone and say, oh, that's a black man. How do you know? Or is their skin complexion black? Okay, well, if they're rich in melanated and olive hue melanin. So you put a black t-shirt against someone who is beautiful melanin skin complexion, who is dark skin, or moreno. That's what morenas. That's what they are. They're Moors. Moreno. Morena. More. M-O-R or M-O-O-R. Whether you take one O off or you don't take the other O off. It's more. That's what the word Moreno means, a dark-skinned Moor. So how can a group of European colonists who just got fresh out of the Dark Ages on all cases, got all this knowledge, and they say we come to civilize Africa. I'm sorry, Africa was already civilized way before the Europeans got there. I can't make it up. I gotta tell the truth for what it truly is. We Moors landed in Europe to civilize Europe. Europeans did not come out the Dark Ages on their own and come and civilize and colonize Africa. They did not come to America and colonize America. Because if that's the case, now we're going to ask the question: how did they learn how to sail? How did they learn how to cook their own three-course meals? How did they learn how to take a bath and wash themselves? Because last I checked, they were funky. They didn't even believe in taking baths after the war was over with in the year 1711. You know what I'm saying? So Moors in America came over to modern day, what they call Spain at the time, that was not called Spain. The Iberian Peninsula, that's what it was called. Gibraltar, Alhambra. You see what I'm saying? So the Spanish language, Negro, a river given to Northwest Africa by the Moors because it contains black water. So who was the name the Spanish language came from? By the Moors in Northwest Africa because it contains black water. When I say Northwest Africa, I'm talking about here in the Americas, North, Central, and South America. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on what I know. You think the Europeans are that articulate and that intelligent to be able to create a language of their own? No, we can't taught them language, literacy, how to read and write. But they come over here talking about we Negroes, and we came over here, and if we teach those niggers how to read and write, then we're going to have to kill them. But who was in the Dark Ages first? Was it us, unconscious Moors, or y'all, Europeans? But if we look at the word black in etymology, it means one who is pale, bleach. It's an adjective. So the ones who were in darkness, and the state of mind is darkness, are the pale-skinned Europeans who call themselves modern-day white. They never called themselves white. They adopted that later on after they start classifying us as Negro, black, and colored. They changed our ethnicity because we didn't even like it. They changed our ethnicity so that way they could denationalize us. So-called Negro, blacks, and colors, Puerto Ricans, Guamanese, and Costa Ricans, and the people of Haiti, and the people of Dominican Republic. Because come on, let's get it right. Let's get it right. The Moors, who I happen to be Moorish, your brother Moorish Life, happen to know that the people, the so-called Negro, blacks, and colors, before the name was given to us by the slaveholders in 1779, we were already classified as Moors. We already know who we were. So we were here, there, and everywhere in all nations. We even civilized China. We even civilized Korea, Vietnam, and etc. all the other nations that are in Asia, including Japan. I can't make it up. So who taught the Chinese martial arts? Who went into Asia? It couldn't be the Europeans because they had no knowledge of Europe. They were fighting amongst each other. And then you want to talk about modern day white power? Are you serious right now? Again, this is why I have this show today. For you all. I have this show because of the fact that my brothers and sisters are lost and their states of minds are being Europeanized, colonized, not corporate Americanized, but they're in a democracy state of mind, which that means that they can't learn nothing else until they get the approval from the slaveholder themselves, the European, the one who is in power right now. But we already know that the executive order was already being put into existence that Moorish Americans going to have to proclaim nationality. Whether you call yourself Negro, black, colored, Asian, whatever. But all those people who are not indigenous here, y'all going to have to go back home. All y'all so-called white folks talking about you white, you have to go back home to Europe. Because you don't belong here. This is not your home. This is the facts. And I'm not talking about the pale-skinned people who happen to have moms and pops who have melanin or whatever, and they come out pale skin or so-called albino or whatever. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Europeans, so-called white folks, the ones who think they got all the power and all this other stuff. The so-called white supremacists. Okay, I can understand why they say, "Oh, we want to breed with our own people." But I'm sorry, but you don't know how to reproducing yourselves. The so-called Negro blacks and colors are reproducing themselves a lot faster than any other group of people. China can't do it because they're subjected to one child. Korea can't do it because it's communism. Africa is doing it to a certain degree, but let's do the math. People from America is doing what the Prince Hakeem is doing, is coming to America to go find a wife, because this is the motherland right here. This is the empire. Right here in the USA. Nothing else. And you wonder why I have my show today. It's for that reason, and that reason only. It's for that reason because the brothers and sisters out there don't think. I'm not saying brothers and sisters who are Mexican, get rid of your Mexican flag. I'm not saying that. But if you look closely at the Mexican flag of Mexico, what colors you see? Red, white, and green. With the eagle and the serpent demonstration. That's what you see, right? But, okay. But do you know that red and green came from the Moorish flag, which is the red flag with the 5-pointed green sardines in it? Right? So, wherever we exist, that's what we practice. We practice our culture. Our culture is to be hospitable, to offer some drink, offer some food. That's our culture. Right? Do you see people in Europe doing that? There's some Johnny Come Lately demonstration. But right now I'm getting real deep. But right now I'm about to take a pause because I have to go look in the chat. See what we have. Who do we have here? We have 3 different people. Alfredia, no say English. Okay, yeah, we understand that you don't speak English. Carson says, with a K, says, I can't see. Well, that's not meant for anybody to see. Anastasia Morena says, me too. Okay, well, praise Allah. Praise Allah for all you all. Muchos gracias, Dios. Mi amor, familia, you too. I'm not fluent in Spanish, so don't expect me to speak Spanish. I just know certain words. Back to what I was saying. Do you look and realize that everybody who has a culture, such as the so-called Puerto Ricans, the word Puerto Rico, I'm going to say it again, means, from Spanish to English, rich harbor, rich port. I don't know how anybody could be that. You know what a harbor or port is? A harbor or port is being built by hands to be able to create this wall so that way boats can come up and dock. How are you going to be that loading dock when the loading dock is dead? It has no life. Right? But I want the brothers and sisters to understand that you guys stop calling yourself and checking them boxes on your application to determine what you are. You can't call yourself black because black represents the Europeans. You could possibly call yourself white because you're of Asiatic descent, and that represents the Asiatic people. White. White means purity. Purity means God. God means rule of the land. That's what it means. So, God is an idea. Man's idea is his God. What's his God today is not his God tomorrow. But what I have to tell y'all on a daily basis is that the love you have for your people and the desire you have to learn the truth, don't accept this indoctrination of high school. And speaking of school, I advise all young people, young woman, young child, young man, I stand corrected. Young man, young woman is going in adulthood. Do not waste your time in these universities. Because if you do, that means you're going to have to pay a student loan if you don't have a scholarship. And you got to pay back all that money so that way you can be able to get your degree and start working. So now you're double dipping. You're double dipping because of the simple fact that you're going to be owing money for the rest of your life. It's just like going to go say, I want to go lease this house. That's what a mortgage is a lease. It's a rent. That's not your land. I don't care if you are European. You don't own no land in Norco. That's not your land. The word land in etymology again means Moor. So how are y'all Moorish? Well, y'all pale-skinned people from Europe. Because you're born here doesn't make you a citizen of the USA. But what the brothers and sisters out there, y'all need to stop calling yourself Latino, Latina, Hispanic, Chicano. Y'all need to stop with that. There is no nationality that represents it, and I don't give a care who do I make angry. You're not black, you're not Latino. Your lyrics that you spit in hip hop is whack. Eminem is the the wackest rapper ever, because he ain't talking about nothing but uplifting. If anything, I prefer Nas, but anything, the song called I Can is more uplifting than any song that Eminem has done. So we're going to move right along from that part. But just because someone can put syllables and words together and rhyme doesn't mean that it has to make sense. If you're not talking about nothing to teach the young people to uplift themselves and to do better for themselves, then why are you rapping? Why you got this crazy music going on? Why? That's the question. Why? It's all falsehood, people. It's all a distraction. That's what it is. It's all a distraction. It's a distraction because they're trying to get you involved of what they're doing and get involved in their business, but you can't even think about taking care of your own business. You stressing about all these rappers or whatever. Why are you stressing about them for? Let them do as they must. Let them do as they must. Nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. But mind your own business. If you can't mind your own business, how you gonna mind someone else's business? These are the things, the reason why people get so much in trouble, because they minding someone else's business and they can't mind their own. How you gonna pull weeds in someone else's garden and you can't even tend to your own weeds? You're taking care of everybody else's problems, but you can't even tend to your own. There's nothing more to say on this topic called pointless. And the more I see things, the more I'm going to call it out what it is. Because it's pointless. If people would stop being indoctrinated and talking about I'm a valedictorian, I'm an honor student too, but what does that do for me now? Nothing. What does the honors, me being an honor roll student in high school, do for me now? Nothing. It don't grab me a better job. It doesn't give me a better degree. I'm not saying don't go to school and learn, but what you are learning is hypocrisy. You're learning falsehood. You're almost every class that you learn except foods class, home economics, or mathematics, art history, or whatever, depending on which art history you come about. But and if you learn about that homosexuality, because that's what they taught me in school about Antigone, that Antigone, I think it was 10th grade or something like that. You're talking about Antigone was supposedly supposed to be this person who dies or whatever, and Antigone was actually a transgender. Antigone was not played by a woman. It was actually played by a man who dressed like a woman, which is basically your modern day cross-dressing, your modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. This was explained in class. This is English literature. Surprisingly, no one knows that. I pay attention to everything that's being said in class. But also pay attention to the ladies too, because these spark my interest. Man, man, brother man like me get whiplash in high school. I sure did. Because there's so many beautiful women around. Mm. Way they used to dress, I'm saying, it just drives a brother's make a brother go wow. Mm. But praise Allah for all those women that went to school with me. If you all hearing this channel right now, email your brother man, brothermorrish.life@yahoo.com. I would love to hear from you all. I love to hear from the people who didn't go to school with me. I love to hear the people who did go to junior high school with me. I love to hear from my fan base. But out of sanity, I am not going to reveal my face. I'm not going to do it. I am just a YouTube voice celebrity. The only thing you know me by is my voice, nothing else. But for all my subscribers who I've met in person, they know what I look like. But that's not to tease anybody, but I don't see nobody else's faces on here, you know. But I need the brothers and sisters to understand, going back to the topic of pointless. It's not wise right now to get a college degree. Matter of fact, you're not even safe. Nobody is safe right now because the executive order has been put into an effect by the powers that be that they told Donald Trump to do. And right now, it's pointless to accept names that dilute slavery. And I strongly suggest that people go to the more responsible America and proclaim nationality. That's very important. Because they are already knocking down doors and they are already arresting people. And the deportation line is going to be very high. And pretty soon, there will not be nobody left. So while the economy is crashing and the dollar bill is crashing, anybody who is not from here, was not born here, failed to proclaim a nationality because of the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, you've been emancipated, but you failed to proclaim nationality, then you have a problem. You have a problem because you're classified as an undesirable according to law. And guess what? You're going to have Homeland Security ICE be going outside and waiting for all people who are U.S. citizens, who are non-American citizens. Just because you got your green card does not make you a citizen of America. That's the wrong way to go. You messed up already. To all my loved ones who are Asian, who went through that route, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go back home. Sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. That's not my words. That's going to be their words. All those people who causing problems, yep, they're going to start with y'all first, and they're going to start going all the way down to the Puerto Ricans, the so-called Negro, blacks, and colors, and they're going to start telling people that you're going to have to proclaim nationality or else. And if you don't, FEMA camp. And if you a Hebrew Israelite, FEMA camp. If you are a Jew or Jewish, deportation, you must go. Any other so-called black organizations, y'all gonna get shut down real quick. And I'm not playing, because there's only one organization that's founded on according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and that's Moorish Science. All these other organizations, your way you want, your way you will have, but your way just won't do. And I'm quoting the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's who I'm quoting. Your brother Moore's life is definitely about this life. You know what I mean? So, this is a flash flood warning. America is going to rise of the republic, and the democracy is going to diminish because of Babylon. We got these non-binary people, whatever they want to call themselves. Sorry, I'm agreeing with Donald Trump when I say this, but there's only two genders. Man and woman. Boy or girl. No other. I don't care if you want to go look in the mirror and you want to change your gender. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, but sorry for you that you decided to go clip your manhood and you decided to neuter yourself because you don't want to reproduce yourself, and you going by with the fastest and everything that you see and everything that's going on right now is the reason why a lot of these people are whacked out their minds right now. It's because it's simple the fact that they're eating estrogen. They're eating, the women are eating testosterone stuff. And all it's going to do is mess them up. And guess what? It's all in the food. I don't care if you do not like eating fish. I don't care if you don't like eating beef or pork. A lot of that stuff is already being pre-processed to condition your children. And did you also know that the immunization shots also is pumped full of hormones like the chicken and all that stuff? Estrogen. This is why children are being born and they're forcing the agenda to demasculate the man so that way we don't reproduce ourselves. Well, if you are against polygamy, then let me ask you this question. Why is it that majority of your women who are able to reproduce themselves, right, who are straight and love men? Now you count those ratio of women minus the women who are lesbian, young men and men, minus the men who are homosexual. So you look at the ratio of the women who are straight and the ratio of the men who are straight. Do you know that the women outnumber the men by the numbers? And this is why Solomon had to have 700 wives. And 300 concubine women from Edom who were Edomites. So yes, man for woman, one man for one woman, but there's women out there who want to be married and they want the protection. So what they gonna do? Go get with a woman? Go get with a gay guy? It is, again, back to my show, what the title says, pointless. It's pointless to understand what's really going on and looking at the facts for what it truly is. It's pointless that you follow these Europeans and follow their Roman culture and their custom, and then all of a sudden you just go into nuts mode. You go into a mode where you just lose yourself. To the point where amalgamation shouldn't even be. I'm not even for, my thing is this. I'm for a so-called black man proclaim his nationality and get with an Asian woman. I'm for the so-called black man proclaim his nationality and get with a woman from Africa or here, or a woman who is desirable, who is able to be able to hold down a household, who's a woman, who knows how to cook, clean, sew, go in the garden and do all this other stuff. A young girl can't do that stuff that a woman can do. And this is why we are against boyfriend and girlfriend. Boyfriend and girlfriend, a grown man talk about, yeah, this woman is my girl. So now you're saying subliminally that you're a pedophile. That's what you're saying. So a grown woman looks at this man and calls her, that's my boyfriend right there. And I love him. Oh, really? That's how you feel. So you looking like a pedophile. It may not make sense, but look at the logic of what people are saying. It's pointless. This is going on to everywhere in America. North, Central, South America is going on across the Philippine Islands, but there's only one religious group who do not tolerate boyfriend, girlfriend that I know of. And this is what I know. It's Muslims. Ones who practice Islam. There is no such thing as boyfriend and girlfriend. No, it doesn't exist. Why it doesn't exist? Because it's folly. It doesn't make any sense. So how are you going to be able to provide? You a young boy. How you going to provide for a woman? You can't even get a job and you underage. You didn't even finish high school yet. But you over here still playing in the sandbox. How is a young girl going to be playing in the sandbox and be able to provide and be able to cook, clean, sew, and do all those things that a woman can do? She can't. It's not logical. And that's why I keep saying about my show, it's called Pointless. People use words to make things make sense. You can't take a puzzle piece from another puzzle and force to say it's going to fit. It's pointless. It's pointless to talk about something that doesn't even make any sense. Right now it's raining hard outside. So we're going to say, oh, it's raining cats and dogs. How? And don't come at, please, do not come at me with that. Oh, that's just a metaphor. It means it's raining hard. Well, why would you say it's raining like hell? Like hell, like ice cubes coming out of the sky. It's raining hard. That means it's raining like hell. That's what it means. We are going to do what we're going to do every time somebody get on my channel. We're going to do some critical thinking. Because of the simple fact that my brothers and sisters are laid up on the trade and they fear what they hear or see, but they're willing to protect the slaveholder for what he say. They say, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No. But no, let me give you this hint. Another pointless term. Homeboy. Homegirl. That came from slavery, from house boy and house girl. Mr. Slave, stay in the house. That's where you got homeboy from, homegirl from. Everything that I'm speaking right now is all facts, and you all can sit here rebuttal it all y'all want, but I don't give a what y'all think. I don't give a care what y'all think, because at the end of the day, it's all about truth. It's all about thinking for yourself and seeing what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, because everything that these ones are saying is pointless. I can't make it up. But if you got love for your people, you'll be willing to change your perception and the way you're thinking. There's so many cliches out there that doesn't make any sense, family. And guess what? My people will perish for a lack of knowledge. They want to say, oh, the soul is this, and the flesh and bones is this, the flesh and bones is that. Oh, the flesh is sin. How? How is the flesh sin when the flesh is governed by the thoughts, and the thoughts is what leads the flesh to move, to be able to make certain moves and make certain actions happen. So without the thought, the body can't move. The body's just going to sit there until the brain tells it to move your legs, move your feet, get up and walk over to the kitchen and go get yourself something to eat or something to drink, or go to the restroom and, you take care of your little business or whatever in the meditation room. Right? So how is the flesh sinful? Please explain that. Because me no say, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. And please don't tell me something that's going to fit and you're going to force it, because it's not going to work. You have no knowledge of yourself because you listen to someone in a pulpit that's going to dictate to you, because that's all a lot of these people in different organizations are. That's all they are, is dictators. And you can say, yes, sir. Yes, Pastor, sir. Nay. Y'all gonna need to start doing thinking for yourself. Y'all got to. Because there's no other way out. Christianity. This is what I have to say. I'm going to say what the Prophet Joel Ali says. Christianity is good for those who prefer it. I just don't prefer it. Because Christianity does not teach you law. Christianity does not give the so-called Negro, blacks, and coloreds return their nationality. Christianity does not give you law and how it's going to protect you, but preacher man is only going to do so much. Either he's going to take your money and rob you blind, and mess with the ladies in the church and get them pregnant. Hey, to each his own. To each his own. If that's what you do, you want to have a orgy in the church secretly and have your wife don't find out, but she gonna find out later, that's on you. But at the end of the day, it's all about thinking and doing it for yourself. So, I'm going to say this to you all, family, and I'm about to take a break. Y'all take heed to what I'm saying, so. Taking a break. Be right back, family. Islam family, I'm back. We all gotta be responsible for what we learn and what we say. And if we don't start doing some self check up from the neck up and look at how we speak and listen to how other people speak, then we're not gonna do nothing for ourselves. But be a victim of someone else's interpretation on how life is, and that's not how it is. But you gotta read between the lines. You gotta know what the ulterior motive is. You gotta know what this is going on. You gotta know what that's going on. You gotta know all this stuff. Because being in school can only teach you so much, but you gotta be the one to figure out what is the truth and what is falsehood. And for all those mothers and fathers out there who are going through it in the school and their children are being abducted and all this other stuff, you know what? These people gonna reap what they sow. They ain't gonna have no choice but to reap what they sow. Because they're enforcing something, an activity of homosexuality amongst the men and women, so that way we don't reproduce ourselves. They create the prison system so we don't reproduce ourselves. They create the paper certificate, a birth certificate, so that way they can say that you signed on the contract and you state property, and we gonna tell you how it's gonna go, and you can't tell us nothing. But you all need to understand that this is not some play stuff. This is real. You have to start acknowledging what life truly is, and not accepting the conditions of, oh, I bought a house. How did you buy the house when you owe payments on there? How did you buy it? With what currency? Gold? Silver? Did you really buy the house, or you still owe on the mortgage? And everything going back to what the show was saying, pointless. I'm not speaking pointless. I'm exposing stuff that is pointless. But yet still, people don't want to do the thinking for themselves. They're the ones with the problems, and they don't think there's no other way out. But then again, the people are misinformed. Trust me. If a lot of the brothers and sisters out there in the ghettos and stuff like that, so-called ghettos, practice Islamism, do you know that there wouldn't be no crime rate in the USA alone? There would be no crime rate, because we will all get along. But unfortunately, that's not happening, nor is it an illusion it can't happen. But right now, the way things going on with this multiple earthquakes and fires and all this other stuff, what's going on is there's a separation between the good and the evil. That's the separation. The democracy, Washington, D.C., will never be the nation's capital. I don't care how many times they repeat it over the TV, the radio, and all this other stuff. I don't care how many times they repeat it, because it's not. Why do we accept things that are being told to us, but we do not do homework? Oh, because we have children, we have work. We don't have time to sit down and start doing some articulated, but we're constantly on Facebook, constantly on Instagram and Twitter, and all this. What's the other one? I don't know the other one, but I'm really fed up with the way things is going on right now. And right now, Allah is not pleased what's going on right now. And this is why the destruction must happen. The same way with the flood of those angels who had intercourse with these women, create all these giants, And all of a sudden now they were causing problems then with Noah. Then we got Sodom and Gomorrah. That was destroyed. So you don't think Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be destroyed again? Because these people are not keeping the commandments? They're having their own free will, and their own free will is going to lead to their own destruction? Do the people really understand what's really going on? Do we really love ourselves that much that we have to change the way we think, because right now we're being governed by a group of people, the 13 family bankers, who are giving us false information through the media because they control the media, and the media is connected to the Jewish synagogues, that's connected to the Masonic order. They're all connected. After that's being connected, then the indoctrination comes with the school from the Rothschild Rockefellers. Spelman College. Spelman was the maiden name of Rothschild's wife's name. That's why they call it Spelman. All this stuff is coming out. The information is coming out, but people don't want to accept it. Bitcoin, okay. Yeah, Bitcoin's cool, but the question is, are you going to accept that RFID chip? They're going to tell you that when the dollar crashes, or before the dollar crashes, they're going to tell you that, oh, you know, if you want to go buy stuff, you will put X amount of $1 million on your card and you can go buy whatever you want. We're doing away with the dollar because of the counterfeit dollar that's been going around, and we decided to stop it. So right now we've been doing digital money, but digital money has been going around since 1940s. With a MasterCard and a debit card and all that stuff in the 1960s. Call the facts what it is. It's all about homework and research. It's all about studying to show thyself approved. And my brothers and sisters, if y'all talking about buying these Teslas, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, yo. I understand you want to do your Uber Eats and all that sort of stuff, and your what's that called? Your Lyft, your Uber, and all that stuff. Okay, that's all good, but your cars that are electrical ain't gonna last too long once the grid comes off. Once the grid shut down, that's it. Just like the movie, Get Out. You won't be able to get out. You're going to be detained in your own car. You're going to be detained in a gated community because there's not going to be no power and nobody's going to get out. All the people who live in the luxury lofts and all that stuff, you want to be able to get out because guess what? You have a security gate that you have to get out of, and you can't even drive out of it. But nobody's doing any thinking. All the people who are living by the beach, when that tsunami hit, people are going to be running and screaming. But nobody's paying attention though. They got the sign right there in front of you. Tsunami hits, go to high ground. So why would you go and live near the beach for? You got the sign right there to tell you this. But, oh no, tsunami, what you gonna say? Oh, tsunami is not gonna happen. It haven't happened in I don't know how long. So we're safe, we're okay, we're good on the coast. But you gonna drown in all your prized possessions. And matter of fact, those prized possessions are not even yours to begin with. You're just a stayer temporarily because at any given time, these things can be taken back. Such as your social security card, your birth certificate. Yeah. More like your social security card. Social security is maybe going up in as far as paying out, but nothing's happening. It's going to be a default. The next thing that's going to happen is it's going to start shutting down these pharmacies, shutting down the hospitals, shut down the food chain. Nobody can get help or aid because every man for themselves. This is the new age for the apocalypse, and you're not ready for it. You don't have your 90-day supply worth of food. You don't have X amount of water stand up. You don't have no generator. You don't have nothing. Nothing. Zero. Don't even think about trying to go to McDonald's, get something to eat, try to rob McDonald's like y'all did Popeye's chicken. It ain't gonna happen. So all y'all people who are just straight mindless, I have no words for you. Because you're living a pointless lifestyle. You got all these Jordans, you got all this Louis Vuitton, you got all these $1 million European stuff on you, but you're a slave to their luxury. But you don't even want to wear a dashiki. Sisters, you don't even want to cover your legs up. Brothers, you want to keep having your pants hanging down from your butt, looking like a slave, like a slave from a slave plantation. But you are just straight disgusting. You don't even know who you are, but you over here sagging your pants. But do you know when you have your pants hanging down to your butt? You know what that means? That means you're open for sodomy. That's what that means. And I don't think none of y'all care. And if you're lesbian and you're doing that too, I feel sorry for you. I can't make stuff up. I never will. I'm going to call the facts what it is. So when all this hysteria happens, people are going to be looking for FEMA, like they did in North Carolina. Nope, no FEMA. FEMA doesn't even exist. Call 911? Nope, no police department. Call 911 for paramedics? Nope, no paramedics. None of that. Obsolete. But today is the day that y'all gonna get the information, and you're slowly inclining into a cashless society, and you're not ready for it. You don't even have food stacked up. But you all have to make your bed that you slept in. Y'all have to decide what you're gonna do and which way you're gonna go. Cause me, we gonna be all right. Me and mine, we gonna be all right. We're gonna be good. So it's best that you take heed to a lot of stuff that's going on and start accepting things that are not true and accurate. So you can sit here claiming that you black and all that stuff. Watch what happens to you. ICE is going to be coming by picking up the so-called Negro blacks and colors and put them into the FEMA camps. Going to be breaking into your churches and all that. That's what's going to happen. So while all this stuff is going on, you all will not be prepared because you worry about going to the club, putting lipstick on, dressing in short skirts, see what man can get that could be your baby daddy or whatever, and you're going to try to use the man up and he ain't got no money. And then money's going to be obsolete, so where you going to survive off of? How you going to get your Indian hair? How you going to get your fake eyelashes? Man, think about it. Think. If you don't do no thinking or critical thinking, your brother Morris life is not serving you no purpose because you're just wasting your time here. And how it all goes back to the title. You guys are living a lifestyle of pointless. This is going to be the end of the show for today. So I need y'all to be peace. I need y'all to mend y'all ways and do the right thing. And if you wrong someone, admit you're wrong and don't do it again. Right now I'm about to sign off, but I say what I'm always going to say on my channel. Whatever trials and tribulations y'all going through, I pray that you conquer it in the name of peace. Because peace will always end war. But right now, y'all, you should start doing some thinking for yourself. Love y'all. Peace and love. It's enough.